three basic rules, but in previous video I told you about some scalping tricks which will be revealed like 2018 if you see in my videos. But today I try to resolve this all matter in only one video. So I only took three parts. The best part is the basic part of perfect analyzing support and resistance level. So first of all we go for that into the charts, and the second our scalping trick through support and resistance, and then scalping trick especially, it's a specially matter through trend lines. So basically our strategy it depends upon support and resistance level. So let's go to the charts. Okay, now we are here in Euro USD 1 hour chart. So let me took some main things to define you. So our first topic is support and resistance. Now support and resistance is a very easy topic, but seriously when we take some wicks, like we take a wick here, like, oh sorry, I have to first clear these things. Basically my computer get virus, so after virus I have lots of problem. Okay, now it's okay, fine. When we take wicks like this, like these type of wicks, and if we place our line here, like this is our support and resistance. So basically it acts like a support and resistance. It's true, it acts like a support and resistance, but in mastering levels it's not true, because I will show you something here. The best first rule, number one rule of support and resistance is to find out, just find yourself that where is your breakouts. You got me? Breakout, like this is a breakout candle here. We have here a breakout candle, and we have here a breakout candle, of course. So this level is basically a support and resistance level. Now after that, if we see previous, there is a long candle. When you see a breakout candle occurs, that will be your support and resistance. It's a rule number one. It's rule number one, right? Okay, now we go with some practical on it. So let me take some horizontal line here. Okay, now if we see this part and we make it color black, too easy to visible to you guys. Now if we see that this is a support and resistance, so what we see here, I'm just on a current part, it's market running right now. So let's see. Yes, if you see that market behaves here and markets push back, you see market go down here, market retest this zone, retest, and then goes up again, and maybe it goes again and come back for this zone again. It's future. So we see a first part here. Now in previous we see another part. If you see there is a wick, that's why I ignore you, I tell you to ignore these parts, because these wicks do not work in SNR system, support and resistance system. Only the mastering clue of perfect analyzing that where is your perfect support and resistance is basically you have to find out that where are the breakout candles. When you once you cover this breakout candle here, you see this, so it's your perfect zone. Now after finding out, you see that this zone, you see two wicks here. Did you see this? Let me zoom this. Let me zoom this so you will easily understand that what's going on here and what I want to tell you at this zone. If you I think it's not visible right now. Now it's visible. Okay. Okay, sorry. So we say this, that we took this part, that this is a breakout candle. It's a breakout candle. So I took this part that it's a pure support and resistance area, right? I did not see in past it's working or it's not working, because it's a market. If market goes to break out this and then break down, so it's normal way in market. It's we daily see these things. So do not stuck in these things. Just make a rule. The rule number one is that number one, you have to see a breakout candle, right? You have to see a breakout candle. Rule number one is this: breakout candle is your true support and resistance in your future and in your past, and we will see it finally. So don't worry for this. When you see this market comes here, you see this number one spike here, then you see this too. That means that this support and resistance is basically working here, but there is a logic behind. There is a logic because market changed the trend here. Market changes the trend here, and now market pushing itself to different layers, like waves, like you see these waves, and then so it's market nature. But basically true support and resistance, what is it? Let me tell you again. We see that after that market behavior. Now it's a behaving, right? You see a behavior here. Now it's our second clue. It's our second part. First rule is breakout candle, right? At second clue, it's behavior. You see a behavior, then market break out this area breakout. Now after that breakout, you see that market comes down to retest same zone here. What's that? This spike is basically a market maker trick. It's another subject. I will come for this in other videos, but today video is very important only for support and resistance. That is our first topic. So you see that market behave here, then market did a breakout here, and after a breakout market behave again here as a support. Now once you see that there is a behaving of support, and once you see that there is a behaving of resistance, that means that your line is perfect. This support and resistance line is perfect. Now we are going to a second example. Let we find out another true support and resistance. Let's see. If I see this is a good breakout long candle, right? So I place another support and resistance line here. Now let's see that is it a true or not. Now if we see that after this analyzing, we feel that market will go up, but market, you see there, market behaves as spike here. That means this area is pushing, and in past you see already two spikes here, and in past you see there is also a stop of the candle of green, and then spike and spike back, retrace to a red candle. That means this area is basically behaving like a support and resistance. So it's a support and resistance here, right? Okay, what happened next? When you see a market break down, then market push back, and then for a retest it not go down, basically it break out again and go to the next level, right? So that means your support and resistance is true, but the behavior of market may be volatile and maybe there will be a wave. So in the level of wave, market must behave like this. That if you see, this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, and this is a wave 3. So sometime in correction parts, waves do like this. So it's another story. Well, let me see another conclusion of this setup of support and resistance. Now see these lines, what they are behaving in the past. Because why I'm going to say you this, that these are the mastering part of the support and resistance, because when you take books and courses and when you read about it, they write that basically if you see at this part and at this part, so that means it's a support and resistance. But after these things, when market makers do these things like this, you see that market going up and suddenly going down, but you see this and then this candle, right? So where this candle starts, this pure gap basically change the behavior in these support and resistance lines. That's why we took in the fresh market, because if you see old version of a style, that is, let me tell you, let me minimize and then I will tell you that what is the old version. Old version is just like that. If you take a support and resistance like this, that you see that there is a, yes, you see this, now there is a support and resistance, you see two spikes test same zone and then market push back and then same zone. So yes, it's a true, but there will be a chance in past or in future if we see, because there will be must a breakout candle occurs, because you see there, but it's little bit up, but we will find out it. If you see our previous lines, those are behaving just on the candles. If you see this behavior, you see exactly on a true support and resistance. It's also true, but this one we made in a normal way, that this is a support and resistance line. Some other parts, there are some people who try to analyze support and resistance in such this way, that they said, okay, now guys, this is our support and resistance. But basically what's going on behind? The reason behind that, there are pips in it, and when you are doing to do scalpings, so basically in scalping we take high frequency in our trade size. First of all, scalping rule that you have to take 0.01, so you are not going to do scalping, you are on a long term. So if you are going to take a scalping, so you must take a size of 0.05 minimum, or maybe I take 0.20 daily. So in this way, if you do this squares and you depend on these rectangular box, that means you are taking if you have $100 account, so what happened next when you engage your trade here? When it goes up, it makes your $60 minus in your capital according to this trade size. But basically this trade size is actually, it's a true trade size. It's not a bad one, but if you think no, I have to take 0.05, but basically in this you cannot take returns, because in scalping you have to take from 10 pips to maximum 20 pips. This is your criteria. This is your criteria, right? So back to the topic. When we let me remove this so easily we understand our first part. Now you see that this zone, it's not a valid zone, or it's not in a true way. So if we find more back that our zone, so you see this exactly stop to this zone, and then market behaves a breakdown. Then after a retest, market behaves a test, and market goes down. After, when market comes up, market makes another test, and then market break out this. So it's okay. Naturally in a market way it's okay, but your line is true. First we understand the basic phenomena of support and resistance. Now we cover this part. Okay, now let's come to our basic strategy rule. What is that? Our basic strategy rule is we have to see two retest points. When we see two retest, then we go for our strategy. So in this chart, let me find out that where I find a setup, so I will tell you. Now okay, let's think that according to our strategy we have a breakout candle here. If you see this, there is a gap candle, so it's time for prayer, so I'm taking a break. So we see that there is a breakout candle here. You see this, there is a breakout candle. So we see that after this setup there are two tests here. That is number one test. The basic rule of this strategy is you have to find out where are the retest. So this is our test number one, and then we see a test number two. This will be little bit, but it not goes to this level, so that's why I'm not taking this part. But I see that there is a test number one and then test number two, and after this you see that a breakout come. Now this breakout, you have to do a hold here. You have to hold here. Wait, let me fix. So what is the logic? Basic logic number one, you have to find your SNR, right? Support and resistance, it's your number one logic, right? Okay, now number two, you have to check the retest, that where market gives action to the support and resistance, like this. This is your one retest, this is your retest number two, and then there will be a rule that you see a breakout. Now breakout to another support and resistance level, just like this 1.1437. So you are waiting here, for your entry. When you see a confirmation, so you enter a sell here. Now the point is that you find out that this is your entry point. So what will be your TP? The TP will be the same testing levels. TP will be the same testing levels. So once you got your retest area, this is your entry. and it's also your exit point. Now this is the simple strategy of scalping little pips in your hand. Now this is your area of sell. Now taking another example, once you see this, you see another test here. Now you have this support also, and you see after taking this, you see that market goes again up, but it not go up, because when we did not see this portion, we don't know this portion, we only watching this, so we basically watching a trend here. So we are expecting that market will be go more over or more up. It's psychological. So after a turnout, when we see this, that market goes and turn from here, so we take our trade here. This is our trade number 1, because we see a test here and a test here. Sorry, not this one, this one. Okay, now after that, when market goes down back to this support, so we see also that there are tests here, there are testings here. So we have to not taking any action. Like we see a buy here, and it will go for the support and resistance level like this, and then comes back. No, this is not our strategy. Our strategy is on a confirmation basis. What's that? When you see that market goes down, market takes a test here, you have to wait here, you have to take more weight, and you see that market proper break out this area. This area is not proper breakout. Okay, after this setup, when you see this, so there is also a test here. You see this, you are basically on a support and resistance level. Now I'm not taking more lines here to view for this, because it's taking so much time. Let me make more comfortable for you. But the problem is then after you see a lengthy video, because it takes so much time in it, so I'm just covering it fast. So okay, now it's better to easy to understand. When you see this test, then you have to wait for a second one. But you see sometimes these tests, according to market maker, because market maker does not allow you to take this confirmation and you enter here, so sometime market maker pulls back. But basically this test number 1 is your buy, it's your confirmed buy. Now after this confirmed buy, if you trade only this part, then you also take some pips. But if you taking some more risk on a longer, then your TP will be, exact TP will be your second support and resistance level. It's simple, it's very simple. Now we take an example on our second topic, which is we cover in this video perfectly analyzing support and resistance level. Then we see scalping trick through support and resistance. Now we are covering a very beautiful scalping trick through trend lines. It's a very wonderful trick. Let's see this. Now we're taking not horizontal lines, we're taking a trend line. Okay, now we see here that there is a market goes from here to here, right? Like you sketch a trend line here like this, sorry, like this. Okay, now we taking this into red color, easy to understand. Now in this part, same theory, Same theory, because when you see a market test here, you see a market test here, this is your one. Maybe you can say this is number one, but we consider its infinity number like 0. Now we see a market break down here. Now after a breakdown to a support and resistance level, market must go up. This is your buy scalpings. This is your buy scalpings, right? After this, if you enter here, this is another buy scalping. You see this? I'm taking a break for prayer. So let me talk our. Okay, guys. So we see. Let me take the pen. We see there is a buy opportunity here, and it's your entry and it's your exit point. If you are taking longer, then you enter here again and then you exit just near it like this. But you see, after this panics and fears, because let me discuss this also. If we see after a breakout from this major portion, now this major portion we don't know, it's our future. We are right now here at this level. We see a spike and then we enter our buy here very confidently, that we know that we are already in a trend, and we see a M here. This is called M. So in M there is a logic that after a M there will be a W portion. So you see that also, if we consider this is a W portion. So if we have this study in our mind, that we are so confident here, we have so many confidence here that market wants to come down for a breakout, it's just because of a practice I'm saying about. If you are new and you are studying this theory, so maybe some difficulties comes, but after a practice time you will say, yes, I see a M, so market will go little down, but market stops and react here. Now market goes more down, it's another story. We are not talking on it. We are talking on our support and resistance line. But after, if market goes more down, then market always behave like this, this and this. Not like this. It's not a stock that it crashed just a bigger candle. No, it's not possible in CFDs. So back to our point, we see a retest here, then we see a breakout here, here we see a breakout. Market will come back to your support, so this will be your buy entry and a good scalping. Now another part, if you see that market comes back for a retest, basically market makers comes for your stop losses. When they see that you enter here, so market maker will come directly down, especially for your stop loss, that your stop loss will be here. So he hits your stop loss and then go again up for making a major trend. So if you taking another example, let's see what we have in another example. We taking same trend line here, and now we are taking it here, right? Let me make it more closer. If we see this part like this, okay. Now this is another example. Let we see this. We see that market turn a change here, market turns here. So this is our zero infinity number, right? We see a market test number 1 here on same trend line. Market don't go opposite to that trend line, but now this is very patientable game. that you have to be patient and you have to be wait for this, for a good opportunity. When you see this market goes for a breakout, maybe this is not your support and resistance, but this is your exact truly support and resistance. If you see in the past, that you see this is a breakout candle, you see this is a breakout candle and there is another breakout candle here. So this is your support and resistance. Let me draw it to easy to understand. Do not rush and do not do hurries to understand these strategies so fast. Take your time and invest your time in my video, then you will be easily understand what I'm talking about. Now it's easy to understand. You see this area. Okay, now back to pen. You see that market gives a breakout here. Now we are on a surety. Now we are taking to place this area. Market goes down, but it's not our trade. Basically, when market hits to our basic breakout line, spike, then we enter here. And after that, if market goes up back, that we know that market maker is basically come back for only for stop loss, not come back for going for up. No, you have to be confident in this part, because when we become confident in our trades, we easily take so many pips and we make money in it. So you see a breakout here, you see retests, there is a 1, there is a 2, there is our infinity number, okay, and you see there is a breakout. So we enter here a sell, right? We enter here a sell. Now what will be our TP? TP same trend line. You see this? TP will be same trend line. This is a very quick response and a very quick trade. I hope I make a little video, just it's with some mastering components which will help you, but for the beginner it's not an easy task. You have to find my more videos for beginners, and you have to study first of all the other things, then you come over for this. But I know it's a guaranteed formula, and I apply this many times in daily in my trading. I mostly do Euro USD, so I daily use these types of tricks and I make money little, but it's handsome and it's confident money. It's not the losing one. Now if you make stop loss, it's depend upon you, but in my trading I do not take stop loss, because my eyes, I'm watching charts, my eyes are my stop loss, my brain is my stop loss. When I consider that it's there is a mistake and I do a wrong thing, so I admit my loss and I cut it at the spot. So I give you another example. Okay, now let make video is going basically lengthy, so it's another problem for me, but basically if we understand this thing, so it will be very wonderful for us. Now we are on our let me take more setup, let me take more one here. Now here you see there is a problem, but let me describe you here. Okay, now we take a trend line here, right? We take a trend line here and we see that there are some touch here. Okay, now we expecting this here, but you have to take responsibility of support and resistance also in it. If you include this, so you get confirms trades. So you don't rely on this trend line that Aman says that market will come here, so that will be your TP. No, if you see that you cover so many pips, then don't rely on a long term. Market will swing, market will change apart. So that why I'm taking this example also. So uh, so here we see, let me see. Okay, now we take test 1, but after this test market goes breakout. Okay, we see a breakout here. Now I'm waiting here that I will take a, but you see that this support and resistance also break. So now I'm taking for the next level. This level I see that it giving me some spikes here. Okay, but in this spike, what will be your trade according to this trend line? You have to focus very first rule. Very first rule is your support and resistance, right? Second rule, breakout, right? And your entry and your exit will be support and resistance. Sometime trend lines, but mainly that is support and resistance. So you take a sell here, you take a sell here, and market goes down according to this breakout. So you have to exit here, you have to exit here. Just hit the trigger here and then grab some pips and out. This is your handsome trade. Do not go in more greeding that you are expecting that it will go more down here to this level. Maybe after that market change the criteria and you see that market goes above from this support and resistance line, and if you stuck your trade here, you see that market is only behaving to this. Now it's coming for little down, but market it's not coming down, market is going up. So in a major trend, you see market goes up. So it's a little covering I give you, so focus on that, and I will make another video that will be more detailed and more technical things I will involve in this video, next video, sorry. So you will better understand. But in first intro of scalping this strategy, you have a way that, let me repeat it again, let me delete this so easily understand. When you see a breakout, you have to see some test, right? You have to see some test. Like in a neutral way, you are a beginner, you see this video and you see that you plotted these support and resistance here and here and here. Now you see that there is a breakout and you are waiting for this part, but basically it's not happened yet, and suddenly market goes down. So it's okay if it's going down and you see that market spikes. So there will be a breakout candle here like this, it goes boom down. So enter your sell here, enter your sell here, and then take it from next support and resistance. It's very simple, it's not a big game. I also teach you that how to take trend lines. When you see a trend, then there will be market must stop to a level and then goes down. So you have to consider that you see that there is a W part. I see there is a W part, so market must make a M here. It's simple. So I hope you take some notes on it and you please practice on it, so you will easily get some pips. It's so easy, but it's difficult in beginning to understand some major things, but once you get practice in it, like 1 month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it depends upon your ability, then you will be enjoy this, and I know this. So back to our topics. So we done today 3 topics: analyzing support and resistance level, then scalping trick through support and resistance, and scalping trick through trend lines. Now we do only 2 major parts. In further videos I will give you more extraordinary mastering clues, that where you enter and where you exit, and you become more powerful in your trading, in your scalpings. So happy pips, and thank you so much.